Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So today I'm just going to be having the last little play with this Cottage Garden, which came from magazine number 75, and we're just going to make a couple of cards with that. So to start with, I have cut a card blank. It's a bit of a strange old shape. This is a bit like a DL. So it's 4 inches by 8, just about, and obviously I've done that as a tent fold. Okay, so I've got an offcut of some gold here, so I'm just going to cut this at 2 notches under the 4, and if I pop that little leg out there, 2 notches under the 8. Let's see how that fits on there. That's quite nice. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm cutting this. I don't usually do it this way, but I am going to cut it at 3 3/4. Oops. And then 7 3/4. This is the foiled piece to match that one. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, and that is all of the cutting I need to do for now. I think might need to cut one of the borders later. Apologies, still have this really bad cough. Okay, so all I did, I just folded this over so it's a little bit whiter. This cardstock, it's 300 GSM white cardstock, but one side seems to be a brighter white than the other, so I did just fold it over and re-burnished that down. So the glues I'm going to be using, as usual, in this one is going to be the all-purpose Kalau all-purpose glue, which I did get from Crafter's Companion, and this one is the Kalau tacky glue, which I also did get from Crafter's Companion. Okay, and I do use both glues. So let's pop some of this tacky glue down. And then we can pop that onto there. Just glue press down. And then before I pop this one down, so there's just a little end sticking up there, it's annoying me. Just put that on and hold it down. There we go. And I'm just going to pop out this guy here. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to put a bit of ribbon across the bottom of a tag, or whether I want to. That's going to go on there. This is going to come across like so. I think probably going to miss out some of the layers maybe. So I wasn't sure whether to go for maybe a bit of cream sort of ribbon with a tag on. Maybe have a terrific time. Or whether to have one of these borders going across. I think I'm probably going to have a border and a bit of ribbon, so I'm okay for gluing this down flat for the moment. So obviously if I was going to put a ribbon across, it was best for me to do that now, and then I can hide all of those workings, but I think I can use that thin border with the thin ribbon, get the look I want, also get a bit of dimension, going on to my card. Right, so we can put that to the side for a second, and I'm going to grab this thin border. It's the thin one that I want because it's got those pink colours in it. I'm just going to pop that out from there and from there. And then my card was 4 inches across, so what I'm going to do is if I neaten up that edge, it's nice and flush, now I can turn it around, and I'm going to do it to the same size as the gold border, so 2 notches under the 4, and that should go right the way across. Still got a nice piece of border there that we can use on another card. So let's bring some of this in. And this is just some ribbon that I got from AliExpress, I think, and it's kind of, it's cream, but there's also like a orangey pink tone to it as well, so it's not quite cream as such, but it is, if you know what I mean. So it's quite difficult to describe. Hopefully when I do the photos you'll be able to see it a little better. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little bit of red liner tape just on each end of here. Just give that a little burnish down. Take those backs off. Oops. And then just making sure I've got the shiny side of the ribbon. Just going to bring that along. Pressing it down flat, so I'm not gathering it up too much. I want this border to still be nice and straight. I should be able to just give that a little push down where we want that to go. And then we've got our ribbon on there ready for our tag. So let's decide what we're doing with. So I did say I was probably going to leave out this middle gold layer. So that's going to be going on as is. So you could move it down and keep all that decorative at the top. Maybe still even have that at the top there. But I think that's all going to sort of fade into each other. So my idea was to sort of have that bit peeking through. Have this piece here. We sort of want our little ribbony bit to be on there somewhere. Maybe like so. And I'm just wondering whether I need this gold one. I would love it if it was a little bit thinner, but I think it's a little bit chunkier than I want. Let's just move that around. Obviously we'll do lots of dimension and things, but it's just a question of what's going to look best. It does need it. This is the thing, I think it does need it to give it that bit of lift. Okay. So I think we're going to have to start by putting the actual topper bit on first of all. So let's grab some pads Got some Crafter's Companion ones, got some 1mm ones, and we've got some more 2mm ones there. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one. We'll go into these, I think these are 4mm Crafter's Companion ones. And the reason why I'm putting this on first, normally I do it the other way, I start with a bigger one and work in. But I could see that this has a very particular way of having this on and then the scallops on the other one. So it's going to be easier for me to put this bit on first and then work my other layers off around it. So, wait a second. So the important thing really is just to make sure we've got that sort of where we want it to be. And then just to get that sort of straight. I think that's going to be about where we want it to be. And then I am going to go flat with this one, which is pretty much what I usually do with these gold ones. It's just going to be a case of maneuvering that over and popping that down. Okay. And then if I grab, let's use these strips up here. So basically I just need some strips to go at these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so to there. Just want that to go on where it's not going to be seen. And then the same at the bottom. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just extra there, a bit of support. And then hopefully we shouldn't see anything on the other side. So let's take these backs off. Not quite sure why I'm in the mood for 4x8 and sort of long cards today. I mean, I was watching Anne-Marie and Rebecca this morning, and maybe it's because they've got the new ones coming, the new Tenfold cards and the cards they were making today. Maybe that's what made it sort of stick in my head a little bit. Okay, so that's where we've got to with that one. And we just have to work out where we want that tag to be. I sort of feel I want it to go that way or that way. Yeah, I think we'll go that way. So I'm going to pop a little bit of foam pad on the back. I might put another piece on just to stabilise that. So let's grab one of these. just going to help that sort of stabilise a bit better. Cross to around back there, I think this should be okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to, I think I'm going to poke that hole out. And I want some of this. Oops. Let's grab our little bow maker here. This is just going to be a teeny tiny bow. There we go. Okay. Just trim that a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to pop one of these craft companion. Actually, I'm going to go with 2, and then a little piece of this 1mm one, because this is only like a 2. Pop that right across the hole. That's going to give me something for my bow to stick to, and also going to help when I put the glue on it as well, just to make that bow stick there where we want it to be. So let's go in like so. I am going to pop a little bit of PVA glue in. This may take a little while to go off. That is right there. Now, ideally I would use my glue gel, but that is downstairs. So I'm feeling like I need some pink or light blue gems. So I've got these ones. These are all pastels. Nice shiny pink. So let's just pop down there, move this round to the pink. And these are quite small, but they do seem to have sort of an iridescence to them as well. So got that sort of shine. See them as well. And these are probably about a 3mm, I would say, maybe. Our gem. So let's use all the way around to the blue. And I'm just going to put one in each corner of these blue on the pink. So we've got pink on the blue, blue on the pink. This is a beautiful baby blue, this one. There we go, so let's just give that a little shove into position. And then if I carefully move that back on there, and then that can go away. So that is our first one. Obviously it's going to be a 10-fold card. Still just waiting for that bow to dry a little bit. I don't think that will take long because it's got that sticky underneath. But that's just like an extended 4x8 really. But you would have to go in a 5x8 1/4 maybe envelope or box envelope. Okay, so that is the first one. So the second one I've already got a little bit ready. So I've got another piece of card which was 6 by 16, so it's 6 by 8, and then I'm going to bring in my board and my score tool, and I'm going to score it at 6 inches. If you've got the bigger board, you'll be able to just put it all out, but all I'm wanting to do is put a little 2-inch fold in there, and then I'm going to stick this together, and this is going to be what they call a bookbinding card. Okay, so I've made this one time before and I really like the look of it. I'm going to be doing it this way. I think you could equally have it to open that way, but I just think it's going to be better for me to do it that way. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this red liner tape, and I'm going to pop it on the inside there. This is just going to give me a bit of quick stick. And then I'm just going to, actually I use my construction glue everywhere else because that is the stronger glue. Oh, just got a little string there, and I'm just going to fold it over, press that down. Okay, so I've just got these little clips here, so I'm just going to pop those on. And I'm not sure where these old clips were, they're a bit grubby now, but these ones are material clips, so they're quite good for holding boxes and things together if you want to put something down and move on to the next part. Okay, so in terms of mats and layers, we've got a piece that's 2 by 6, which is our sort of seam here, if you like, and then we've got the actual card bit, which is normal 6 by 6. So let's see if I've got any little pieces that are going to be the right size. Okay, so this piece is 2 notches under 2 and 2 notches under 6. So that's going to work out quite nicely. And then I'm going to take one of these other pieces and just take 2 notches off each side. Actually, that's not quite 2 notches. If you don't want to work in inches, you can always just take 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 centimetre, whichever is your sort of preferred level of sort of how much you like any white to show. You might not even want any white to show, you might want to do it exactly 6 by 6. That's fine, you know, it's whatever makes you happy. It's your project. Okay, so I'm going to come in for this piece here. So for the front of my card, I'm going to cut that to 5 3/4. I'm going to take 1 inch off the top, and then I'm going to do 5 3/4. I do want that little corner, that detail of the corner, but I didn't want it to be the whole of it, so I just wanted that little bit in the corner. Okay, and then I think for the binding part, just debating whether to use it, because this is from what I was using the other day and it's the foiled piece, but I hadn't used any of it at all. But it has got this pretty little flower detail on it, but it does seem to be more blue than the pink and green. So let me just have a little look at the papers that we've got. So we've got some lace, flowers and purple. I don't like any of those ideas. I think what I might do is maybe come in and we'll just do the plain bit of pink. Okay, so it's just, I mean, it's going to have ribbon on anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But for this one, I need to go at 3/4 of an inch, and that needs to be by 5 3/4. That should fit onto that piece quite nicely there. Okay, so got all those pieces done. And that is what we need. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I found this sort of pastel ribbon. It's quite similar in colour to that, so this is what I'm going to be using on my my piece here. So let's go ahead and mat this up first of all. That one. Okay. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of red liner across the bottom. Just checking that hasn't moved, and it has. Just give that a bit of press down gently. You can peel those off. So normally the tacky glue would go off quite quickly, and I'd be able to be working quite quickly on this piece, but for some reason it is working a little slower today. So just put that along there. Let's move that out of the way. Just going to bring this along. Just going to try and stick to the Oh, my fingers are not working to tie a bow today. Okay, it's a bit messy, but we'll tidy that one up in a minute. Okay, let's put this together. So now that should hopefully have all set quite nicely. So it's not going to come apart very easily. So let's pop this bit on first of all. So my usual glues, tucking in those corners, popping this over here. I do just have to be a little bit careful because that red liner tape will want to stick down straight away. Okay, and then we can come in with our gold. Put that underneath onto a sort of page, if you like. And of course you could be coming in and embossing this, you know. I've left it plain because I know quite a few of you out there don't use the electronic machines. So I try and make my project accessible to all most of the time. I know I have done a few embossing folders lately. But yeah, you can definitely come in and emboss that. You could paint splatter on that. You know, any of those things that you want to do. Right, let's see if I can get this tied a little neater now that that's all nicely down. Now if you want to, you can have this bow more at the top, at the bottom. I've just chosen to have that in the middle. You could also bring that around and have that going long ways, just by adding a little bit of glue in the right place. I think I'm probably going to leave it like that, but we'll see how it looks once we've got the topper on and things. So let's grab the topper. So we've got this beautiful one with like a little garden shed. It's not quite a shed, but it's one of those places you hang out. And I could come in and use a little bit of the border as well. So let's bring that beautiful little, it's like a chintzy pattern, quite nice. There's that one. And we've got T for 2. Happiness is time spent with you. Enjoy the little things. Wishing you a fabulous birthday. I actually might put this underneath in there. But we'll see. Okay. So let's have a little look where we want that to go. So we could have that again on there. Another little bit of detail. I think that makes it look a little bit busy. We could come under and then have that on top. Is that like the border? There's the other one. So we've got those borders there, might as well use them. Or we could go, that's going to be quite hard to do because we wouldn't be able to bend that to get that angle right. I don't think. It would be guesswork. I'm not sure I like that anyway. I like this idea of having two going underneath quite close together, and then we've got just the two toppers on this one. So okay, let's get those cut to size. So I'm going to sharpen up that edge, and then I just want that to be 2 notches under the 6, and then this one should have quite a nice sharp edge on that side, so 2 notches under the 6 on that one as well. Okay. Right, so I'm thinking they do need to go quite high up to have the effect that I want them to have. Get out of the way a minute. Yeah, okay. So let's just use tacky glue on this. I'm just going flat on them because obviously I want to put layers on top. And then again with this one, tacky glue. You can use the all-purpose glue if you prefer. It's just a question of making sure they're lined up nicely at those sides. Okay. So again, we need to make sure our scallops are lined up correctly. So let's pop some foam pads onto the backs. Okay. Let me just put them back in here, and then they've disappeared again. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to have the frame higher on this one. So I should be okay putting these Crafter's Companion ones on this frame as long as I keep it nice and neat. So I'm just making sure I'm not going to be, all the pads are not going to be seen, so I'm hoping I can just get away with those. Let's just do half of ones. Just pop those round. Just feels like it needs that support. Just need 2 more. 2 should feel much better. Yep. And then for this one, yeah, I use these strips, or I could use something else, but this is the hands, so we'll use these. Okay, so if I take the backs off these first of all, this is the most time consuming thing, I think, taking the backs off. And I'm just going to pop some tacky glue, quite a good amount of tacky glue, just in case I need to rotate this round. Sort of want that where we want it, so let's just pop. That should be fine. And that looks alright like that. You could use that would be alright just as it is, but obviously I've got this frame, so I want to use it. And this is pretty much going to be the end of this kit. I mean, there are little odd toppers. I still have got quite a lot of cardstock left, I have to be honest. There's a whole piece of foiled one that I didn't use. And there are quite a few pieces. So I might be able to make a few odd more cards. But it won't be on video, I'm afraid, so it'll be just something I do just to use up the last little bits. And obviously loads of people have different ideas on how to use these toppers, so I usually post in the Friends of Hunkydory Facebook group, and there's quite a few people in there post their ideas. So you know, if you're stuck, you've got a kit and you're not quite sure, that's a good place to go. My Pinterest, there's loads of examples on there. Hunkydory Hub, of course, always a good place to go. There we go, so that's in just a little bit higher, so that's nice. Okay, so undo this bow again for the millionth time. Pop that one out. Pop this in. Is that going to be the right way? Let's have a little look once we've tied it. I'm going to do is a different way of tying a bow for me. So if I pop one through, pop that one through, try this to go straight now. Yeah, that's that one. That's the right way. Hopefully I should be able to pull it down, done a little knot. It should make this bow a little bit tidier as well. Okay. Let's tidy. Oops, bits of rubbish. We'll move those onto the floor. I'm going to come in with these gems again because we've got that lovely little, two different greens in here. We've got this sort of, I think this is going to be quite a nice green. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we use those. Alright, so I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3. These are sort of a turquoisey sort of green. It's a real pretty pastel green. I think these probably would have come from AliExpress. I don't think they came from Temu. So I'm just going to put 2 at the bottom there. In there. I don't think I'm going to put anything else on that side because we've got that lovely bow there. So let's leave that as it is. That goes away. Now obviously if you wanted to, you could come in with glitters, that sort of thing to finish that off. I'm just going to leave that as it is. Let me just bring back in that first card we made as well. Okay, so again, this would need to go in an 8x6 sort of envelope, just slightly bigger. This would be going in the, I think we decided it would be 5, 4.5, yeah, 5x8 sort of envelope, but 2 quite different cards using those circle dies. Like I said, sadly that's the end of the Cottage Garden kit for me, on video anyway. Next time, if my new bits and pieces haven't come, what I'll do is I will bring out the Memorable Moments kit, I think it was from last year, and have a little play with that, because I did mention last time that I didn't get a chance to play with it last year with everything going on and off. The other thing I just forgot to say as well, if you want inserts for these, you just download them and print them. So it's worth, when you order from Hunkydory, just popping in a little pack of printable inserts, and then you can just print out as many as you need when you need to do them. I'll do them a little bit later when I've done the envelopes for them. I might try and source some envelopes to fit this 8x6. If I can't, I'll have to make a little box or something like that. But that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you like these ideas. You'll have to let me know how you get on with your kit. I know quite a few people have said they're quite excited to get started on it. But I've given you loads of ideas on this one. And like I say, my Pinterest is there. It's Sybil Jones Concoctions. Please do take, you know, inspiration where you can. It might not be that you don't like this design, but there might be another topper like this that I've done with a different design card. That's usually what I do if I'm stuck. If ever my mojo sort of goes a little bit, what I'll do is I'll look at the topper that I've got, and then I'll look through Pinterest at the cards that I've made. If something strikes me from there, then that's where I'll start from. It doesn't always end up that way, like the card I did last time, where I was planning on putting the topper sort of horizontal, but I ended up turning it and it looks so much better vertically. So that's definitely something that I will be doing again on those sort of toppers where I can. But like I say, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye.